So there was a Boxing Day attack at Engels Air Force Base in Russia yesterday on the 26th of December, 2022. Now, I have to start off with a couple of things. First off, as you can see, I am not in my spare bedroom in Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm spending the week between Christmas and New Year's with a friend of mine, so I have a very paltry setup. This is my normal setup at home, and this is my setup here. Going from multiple monitors to one 27-inch monitor feels like trying to be creative through a toilet paper tube. Second, regarding the attack, the first thing I did when I woke up today and noticed this was to get the satellite imagery. This is what the base normally looks like, and this is what it looked like on the 25th and 26th. So if anyone is claiming they have BDA or bomb damage assessment, they are probably lying. Be very wary of anyone posting satellite pictures right now, at least for a few days. The whole area is covered with clouds. And by the way, if you ever wonder why I'm always pushing my t-shirts, I don't have a Patreon. I don't want a Patreon. If you want to send money, send it to Help Is On The Way UA, World Central Kitchen. It's $250 for a satellite image. So I have to sell like 25 t-shirts to get one image. I really don't make any money off this channel. My last long form video, How NORAD Tracks Santa, took me about 60 hours to write, edit, produce, and it made me $302. So that's like one satellite image. It actually works out to about $5 an hour. Minimum wage in Maryland is $11.75 an hour. So people who say I'm profiting off the war need to go start a YouTube channel and see how much money you make. And also, people who say that YouTube is passive income need to shut the heck up. There is nothing passive about schlepping all of this equipment on vacation and working 60 hours for $300. And people wonder why I haven't quit my day job. So let's move on and talk about the actual attack. Now, we might be able to get some BDA from, or bomb damage assessment from, synthetic aperture radar that can penetrate clouds, but I don't have access to that. So we kind of have to rely on logic about what we expect to see. And anyway, I'm going to keep refreshing the screen until I find something. So moving on, people have called this the Boxing Day attack. Boxing Day is a holiday celebrated the day after Christmas in Britain and in former British colonies. I thought it had to do something with the Boxer Rebellion. No, it's just a holiday when service workers or the poor receive Christmas boxes, essentially tips or gifts. But Boxing Day isn't celebrated in Ukraine or Russia. It's just a convenient way of headlining the attack. Now, on to claims made about the attack. This text claims that 5 Tu-95 bombers were seriously damaged, with 2 bombers suffering minor damage. There were also several casualties. This comes from Russian Telegram. The New York Times says that only 3 servicemen became casualties. Now, here's some background. Engels Air Force Base hosts Tu-160 and Tu-95 bombers. You can clearly see them in older satellite photos. The base is about 350 miles or 560 kilometers from Ukraine. Couple of points of interest on Engels Air Force Base. And by the way, if you want to download this, I'll have this Google Earth file on my website. You can go to ryanmcbeth.com and download it yourself. This is the operations center. Here is your fuel storage. Now, what I find kind of funny is that these mounds here are weapon storage. Probably not the greatest idea to store your weapons next to your fuel. Like most things from the Soviet era, it was probably built cheap. And the thought was, hey, it's just going to get destroyed in nuclear war anyway, so who cares? This here is another weapon storage area, probably built later as the base expanded, and more sensible people thought maybe we should move the ammunition away from the fuel. Over here are the old base alert pads. You can see the old Cold War era revetments that have fallen into disrepair. Some of them aren't even connected by concrete anymore and totally overgrown. Revetments are basically blast walls that protect an aircraft on 3 sides from near misses of enemy bombs and missiles. Although I bet Russia is wishing they had maintained those old revetments now. Moving on. These are the maintenance hangars, and it looks like some of the administrative buildings are actually new or have at least new roofs. Now, both the Tu-160 and Tu-95 are both nuclear-capable bombers, so my guess is that right here is the old nuclear weapons storage area that has since fallen into disrepair. I don't know if it's still used or not. I believe that this was the nuclear weapons storage area, because where are you going to put your weapons? Probably in a place that's close to your security forces and far away from people who don't need to be there. So down here is the security forces rifle range. And look, they have a shaded firing area, because even in Russia, the Air Force treats their people better than the Army. Now, Engels Air Force Base was attacked before, back on December 6th. I did a video on that. The attack was rumored to have been done through Soviet-era Tu-141 drones launched from Ukraine. A couple of things to consider. We know for a fact that Engels Air Force Base is home to Tu-160 and Tu-95 bombers. We also know that the last attack on December 6th was performed with modified Ukrainian Tu-141 drones. Not many of these were made. We're talking 152, including prototypes. So Ukraine can't possibly have that many left to launch as drones. But that's been the story of this war, right? Everybody seems to be running out of munitions, but they never seem to run out of munitions. So if this attack did happen, this would be the proof. You're going to see several Tu-95s covered in firefighting foam, kind of like this picture from December 6th. Now, it seems like the firefighting foam can freeze. I did some research on this, so my guess is that if an attack did happen, you're going to see either several Tu-95 bombers stuck in frozen firefighting foam, or over the next few days, you'll see the outline of frozen firefighting foam on the pad and damaged bombers nowhere to be found because they're in these hangars over here getting evaluated for repair. Now, it seems like you can rinse the firefighting foam away with water, but it's been below freezing at Engels Air Force Base the past couple of days, and spraying water on a frozen parking apron just sounds like a bad idea for the ground crew. So if you are an airport firefighter, let me know in the comments below how you would clean firefighting foam off a freezing runway. Maybe through de-icer, I just don't know. More things. I would expect newer satellite photos to reveal an air defense system, probably somewhere down here, most likely planted near a road. This would be an ideal location for a Russian Panzer air defense system. If there's no air defense system, we can assume a few things. Either number one, they camouflaged it really, really well, which is hard to do with a large system. Or number two, Russia just hasn't learned its lessons from the past attack. Or number three, Russia just hasn't gotten an air defense system to this airfield yet. War is hard, and it's hard to move and set up an entire battery of air defense. It would be hard for NATO to do that. I also think that if this attack actually happened, it creates a few issues for Russia. Russia is going to have to rebase its bombers further back and out of range of any Ukrainian drones. Now, Engels is the only base for the Tu-160 bomber. That means any specialized repair equipment has to get moved along with those planes. So you can imagine how much life is sucking for the Russian equivalent of age or aerospace ground equipment right now, because they're going to have to schlep 1,500 or so pieces of equipment to Siberia or wherever the heck Russia decides to send them. There also might be some things that Russia can't move, like engine test hush houses, specialty equipment that's just for the Tu-160. So Russia might have to leave a skeleton crew of experienced repairmen at Engels to service some jets, while the rest of the maintenance squadron is based someplace else. Not exactly a recipe for efficiency. The Tu-95 bomber is in service at another base near Belogorsk, so it might be easier to rebase the Tu-95 and not have to bring all their repair equipment, but it's also 3,600 miles or 5,700 kilometers from Ukraine. So Russia is going to be racking up the frequent flyer miles if they're trying to hit Ukraine all the way from basically the Pacific Ocean. So most likely they're going to have to rebase the Tu-95 bombers at Engels someplace else, just not all the way on the other side of Russia. So like I always say, create dilemmas, not problems for your adversary. Problems have a solution. Dilemmas have two or more solutions, each of which are equally bad. If you keep your bombers close, you reduce pilot fatigue and you reduce flight hours on the airframe, but you also have the risk of destruction through drone attacks, and you need to cover that airfield with surface-to-air missile systems. But if you move the squadrons out of range of the drones, you have to bring all of that specialty maintenance equipment with you. You increase stress and fatigue both on the pilots and the airframe. So yeah, that's a dilemma. Ukraine is really good at creating dilemmas for Russia. So my guess is that Russia is not going to move these squadrons. They're just going to try to build up their air defenses at Engels, but we will see when the weather clears. If you want to watch my How NORAD Tracks Santa video, it's available after this one. And if you got a gift card from Grandma this year, head on over to Bunker Branding and get yourself a sweet Live, Laugh, Launch, HIMARS, or Patriot t-shirt, or even get a Hell on a Wire t-shirt. It all goes to support the channel. And thank you so much for watching.
Yo, 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 what up? It's me, MCI TV. You like Ryan Macbeth? We got crazy Ryan Macbeth shirts, yo. Hi, Mars, Patriot, Toe Itas. That's like a son to me. We even have Spall Street Bets and whatever the heck this is. So come on down to Bunker Branding or I'll get Team Yankee on you.